For the last year, I have studied the habits and behaviors of students, and have found that there are two main types: those that prioritize studying over all else, who we can call the worker, and those who live in the moment, who we can call the slacker. While it may appear that the worker's habits are superior to those of the slacker, through a series of scientific experiments, I have concluded that the slacker lifestyle is not inferior, but far more successful and a happier way of life. I can no longer entertain the idea that the self-destructive behavior of the worker leads to a happier life. My studies centered around two students, Fred, our worker, and Simon, our slacker. I first observed their morning routines. Here we have the worker getting ready for his day. He got a full 2 hours of sleep last night, plenty of time to be well rested. He skips breakfast to go to school early and study even more for his test, half awake all the while. Overall, the worker seems unhappy and emotionally distressed, yet in his mind, his habits are qualities of a successful student. Here is the slacker. He rises well rested because he got a good 8 hours of sleep. He too studied for a physics test the night before, but stopped at 10 to ensure he got enough sleep. Simon knows he could have benefited from some more studying, but understood a good night's rest shouldn't be compromised by a test. I then observed their reactions to the scores of said tests.
Yo, Simon, what do you got on that test?
I got a 94. I'm pretty happy about it.
Dude, I got a 97. My life is over. I'm so mad. You know, I studied all night for that test. I barely got any sleep.
A 97? What an awful grade. Well, I got a 92. I studied, had fun with friends, and got enough sleep. You know, balance is important, right?
Sleep isn't as important as my GPA. You know what they say, 8 hours a day keeps the Harvard away. You know this is the most important year of our lives, right? Everything we do now will affect our futures. And I plan on being successful. Do you want to be Elon Musk, or do you want to live in your mother's basement?
From this, I concluded that excessive studying is in fact not beneficial, contrary to what many would believe. Due to the worker's fixation on the future, he seems to depict this minor inconvenience as the beginning of his downfall. The slacker, on the other hand, realizes that this test doesn't really matter in the end, and moves on quickly. I then observed what Simon and Fred did in their free time.
Yo, chilling with the boys! Ah!
After a long school year, Fred, with a GPA of 8.0, was valedictorian of the class and had to deliver a speech. And so I conclude that the worker lifestyle that so many perceive to be the path to success is destructive. So many are convinced that working all night and day is the best way to guarantee happiness in the future. But in this mindset, they ironically ignore every opportunity to be happy in the present. Rather than the person obsessed with the future, it is the person who enjoys the present moment that has the most happiness. So it can be safe to assume that the slacker lifestyle leads to an overall better and happier life. However, to maintain my integrity as a scientist, I must confess that there was one outlier in the worker's behavior. Perhaps the worker can realize the error in his ways and ascend to slackerdom. But despite this, there is one type of worker that can never ascend, which are...
What are you doing?
I'm working.
Dude, it's been all day.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, okay, so?
You gotta stop working. You're overworking right now.
Yeah, just give me one more line. Just let me do one more second.